Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for March 25, 2025, the Mintz employees arrested in China edition. And we begin with this most disturbing story as all 5 employees, the Mintz Group's Beijing office, have been arrested and detained by the Chinese government. They're being held incommunicado at an unknown location. Obviously, this is extraordinarily bad news for U.S. companies doing business in China, particularly those who help to create transparency through investigative work and due diligence. So we're going to keep a watch on this one, but if you've got employees in China and you're in that field, please be aware of this. This is a really disturbing news as China clamps down on all efforts at transparency. Next up, from the Associated Press, what's the legacy of Iraq after the U.S. invasion? Corruption, corruption, corruption. Of course, this centers on the energy industry, but you have to say that we hope that Ukraine does not follow the model that Iraq adapted, where everything is corrupt in their energy space when it comes to the reconstruction of Ukraine. Next up, from Bloomberg, Coinbase received a Wells notice indicating that the Department of Justice is going to take action, the Securities and Exchange Commission is going to take action against it in this intent to sue over some of its products. This is a part of an ongoing SEC crypto crackdown, and the Coinbase took to Twitter to defend itself, which of course is never good when the regulators come knocking. And our final story comes to us from the New York Times Deal Book, which detailed the testimony of TikTok President Xiao Chu before Congress. I'm not sure you would say it was a disaster, but it went very, 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 very badly for TikTok. Congressmen on both sides of the aisle are up in arms over TikTok and their ownership by the Chinese government. Number 2, their tracking, which unfortunately now they have used to try to intimidate or silence journalists who speak out against TikTok. So it's a very tough day for the TikTok CEO. English is not his native language. He was treated extraordinarily poorly by members of Congress, but that didn't take away from just what a disastrous or other day it was for TikTok in Congress. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.